Archangel Michael's voice is strongest on September 15. This spiritual gateway holds a life-altering choice only the awake will hear. September 15 is not just a date on the calendar. It is a divine interruption, a spiritual threshold carved into time itself. In the unseen realm, this day bears the mark of heavenly alignment, where the veil thins and the voice of Archangel Michael becomes thunderously clear to those who are spiritually awake. The heavens are not silent, no, not on this day. They speak in echoes, in pulses, in divine vibrations only the discerning will feel deep in their bones. This is not a day for the passive. This is a day for the awakened. Michael, the archangel who stands at the forefront of heaven's armies, releases a frequency on September 15 that is impossible to ignore, unless your spirit has grown dull, unless your ears are closed by distraction or doubt. Only those walking in alignment, only those bowed in silence, only those positioned in watchful reverence will perceive the sound that is not of this earth. It is not a sound the flesh can hear. It is a voice the soul must recognize. This is a gateway moment, a moment saturated with divine consequence. Not everyone will hear. Not everyone will choose. Not everyone will obey. But those who do, those who still themselves long enough to perceive, will face a life-altering decision placed before them by the Most High. A choice that holds weight in both time and eternity. A choice that will shape the trajectory of their soul's journey. This is no ordinary season. Heaven has issued a summons. And it comes not with noise, but with silence, not with spectacle, but with sacred stillness. Michael's sword is raised, gleaming with truth, division, and breakthrough. With one stroke, it will separate the sleepers from the seekers, the spectators from the soldiers, the complacent from the call. A warning now echoes in the spirit. If you are to hear the voice on September 15, you must prepare now. Watch. Wait. Pray. Be still. For only the ready will receive. Only the alert will recognize. Why September 15? Why now? Why you? Because heaven has chosen this time, this hour, and this soul, your soul, to awaken. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. By sunrise of September 15, his voice will thunder in the unseen realm. Hear this now, child of light. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is not still. Even now, the realms beyond the veil are stirring, preparing for a moment of thunderous revelation. As the sun rises on September 15, the voice of Archangel Michael will move through the heavens like a trumpet blast, invisible to the natural eye, yet undeniable to the spirit that has not fallen asleep. This is no ordinary day. This is a summons. The Holy One has dispatched Michael, the guardian of thresholds, the defender of the righteous, the warring prince of divine order. He does not come gently. He does not come with whispers of comfort. He comes with fire. He comes with a sword. He comes with a voice that shakes structures and calls forth soldiers from their hiding places. By divine appointment, this voice will not ring out for all. No, this is a selective sound, a spiritual frequency aligned only with those who have prepared their inner altar. The distracted will miss it. The prideful will reject it. The busy will dismiss it. But you, listener of this word, you have been brought here by divine intent. You are not hearing this by chance. You are not here by accident. Something within you has already begun to awaken. You've felt it, haven't you? The restless stirring, the sleepless nights, the gentle shaking of your routines, your habits, your distractions. It is not stress. It is not confusion. It is the Spirit. It is the movement of heaven disrupting the ordinary to make room for the extraordinary. Michael's voice is about to break through, and your soul is being warned. Do not ignore this hour. Delay will cost. Hesitation will hinder. Disobedience will derail destiny. This is a rare divine alignment, a holy interruption that comes only to those destined to shift atmospheres and break generational chains. The Spirit of God has set September 15 as a moment of decision, a time of holy division. For Michael does not come simply to comfort. He comes to cut. His sword separates the false from the true, the impure from the righteous, the religious from the awakened. Hear me now. There is urgency in the unseen. Many will miss it because their ears are dulled by the noise of their own will. Many will shrug it off as emotion, mere energy, coincidence. But those who are watchful, those who have learned to discern divine timings, will sense it in their spirit like a trumpet sounding at midnight. You must be vigilant now. You must silence the noise. You must shut the doors that feed your doubt. For the call of Michael does not speak to crowds. It speaks to individuals. One soul. One heart. One yes. One obedience. Heaven is watching. The angels are assembling. A holy hush precedes the divine thunder. And in the midst of it all, Michael's voice calls out, "Arise, you chosen ones. Arise from your slumber. I am near. I am present. I am ready." But the choice remains yours. Will you rise when the summons sounds? Or will you sleep through the moment that was crafted for your deliverance? You already know the answer. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. They sense a change in you, but they don't know the whole truth. There is something stirring beneath the surface. Can you feel it? It began quietly, not with announcements or clarity, but with strange unrest. Days before September 15, something began pressing against your atmosphere. A dissonance, a ripple. You've noticed it in your sleep, haven't you? The dreams that feel too vivid to forget. The waking hours wrapped in a tension you can't explain. The conversations that suddenly feel hollow. The glances from others that feel more like surveillance than affection. You are not imagining it. This is not anxiety. This is not mere emotion. This is spiritual disruption. This is heaven disturbing the dust of your comfort to prepare your spirit for alignment. Archangel Michael's voice is approaching, and the realm of darkness is already agitated. Even before you hear it, the spirit world has sensed the coming shift. And now everything around you is moving in response, some to prepare, some to prevent. There are watchers, secret watchers. Some are angelic, some are human. Others are not sent by God. They observe in silence. They monitor without speaking. They sense that something sacred is building inside you, and yet they cannot interpret it fully. It frustrates them. It intimidates them. You have become a mystery, even to those who thought they knew you best. This emotional disruption is not random. It is prophetic. Your spirit is being tuned to hear what others cannot. While others are settling into their routines, something inside you is rising. While others laugh off the days as ordinary, you are waking up in the middle of the night with your heart pounding, your soul reaching, your mind searching for answers that logic cannot give. This is the pain of becoming awakened. There's a spiritual tug-of-war around your life right now. One moment you feel clarity, the next confusion. One moment you feel joy, then sudden heaviness. You're not being unstable. You're not losing your footing. You're standing in the middle of a battlefield, and you were never meant to fight it with your flesh. These emotions are not simply personal. They are prophetic indicators that your spiritual environment is shifting. Michael's approach does not come without tremors. His presence shakes the dust from the dormant gifts. It stirs the residue of old assignments. It exposes hidden wounds and unspoken warfare. Everything that is false is now being agitated by the truth forming within you. You feel it, don't you? That pressure. That invisible pull. That knowing deep within. Something is coming, and I must be ready. And still, the enemy tries to trick you into believing you're unstable. But listen closely. This isn't instability. It's spiritual calibration. The old frequencies can no longer hold you. The old connections can no longer sustain you. The old labels can no longer define you. Michael is coming with a sword. But before he cuts externally, he is cutting away what is internally misaligned. This is the mystery of divine preparation. Before elevation comes agitation. Before clarity comes confusion. Before breakthrough comes disorientation. You are in the in-between. Not where you were, not yet where you're going, but precisely where heaven wants you. In the tension, in the mystery, in the holy confusion that strips you of every false dependence. So, if you've been feeling misunderstood, stay quiet. If you've been feeling emotionally stretched, stay steady. If your nights are restless and your peace feels interrupted, know this. You are being conditioned to hear the thunder of Michael's voice when others hear only silence. You are not crazy. You are called. You are not broken. You are being broken open. You are not abandoned. You are being summoned. And very soon, everything will make sense. Type "I am ready" in the comments if this resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 7788 has been assigned to you. Just as you're sensing this holy shift, Many souls out there are still wandering in silence, unaware of the voice that calls from the heavens. This platform is more than content. It's a clarion trumpet to the chosen. When you sow into this mission, through super thanks, membership, or even a PayPal seed, you're igniting light in someone else's dark place. As the Lord says in Isaiah 60:1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come." This is your moment to carry the light forward. I heard this in the Spirit. Someone's deliverance is tied to your obedience. When you give, you're not supporting us. You're partnering with the move of God. You're fueling a spiritual revolution that pierces deception and wakes the sleeping. Your gift isn't casual. It's prophetic. It multiplies harvest, opens gates, and shakes nations. Bless your giving. Link to donate via PayPal is in the description below. You can also activate divine alignment by joining our YouTube membership or sowing through Super Thanks right here. Do not hesitate. This is a holy transaction. Sow now and unlock what heaven has been waiting to release. Michael's sword divides truth from lies. Your conflict is spiritual warfare. Now hear this. What you are facing is not just a bad season. It is not simply emotional tension, nor is it just circumstantial resistance. You are in a battle, not of flesh and blood, but of spirit and power, of dominion and deception. This is not life being unfair. This is war. And you are not the victim. You are the target because you have been marked by heaven. You have been noticed by the unseen realm, and your awakening has stirred the darkness. The sword of Archangel Michael does not come to tickle or to comfort. It comes to divide, to separate, to expose. And what you are walking through right now is evidence that the sword has been drawn near your life. People may not understand it. Some may say you've changed. Others may treat you strangely, attack you unfairly, distance themselves suddenly. But this is not rejection. This is revelation. The sword is moving through your environment, through your relationships, through your inner life, and it is cutting clean between what is truth and what is falsehood. You are being separated from old lies you used to believe about yourself. You are being separated from false alignments that once made you feel accepted, but kept you spiritually stagnant. You are being separated from patterns of people-pleasing and environments of emotional manipulation. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it's confusing. But this is heaven's mercy disguised as disruption. The warfare you're experiencing is not about where you've been. It's about where you're going. The enemy is not fighting you because of your past. He's terrified of your future. The resistance is a reaction to your spiritual evolution, a reaction to your obedience, a reaction to your prayers that have been shaking the ground, even when you didn't feel powerful. The darkness has noticed that your name is being whispered in heaven, and it is doing everything it can to distract, discourage, and divide you. Misunderstandings are not accidents. They are weapons. False accusations, unexpected delays, emotional chaos. These are not random. They are carefully crafted counterattacks designed to provoke you into fighting in the flesh instead of standing in the spirit. And Michael, who watches over you, warns, do not engage with noise. Do not wrestle with shadows. The real enemy is invisible, but so is your victory. The pressure has increased because your promotion is near. And heaven is watching, not to condemn you, but to observe how you respond. Will you curse the storm, or will you discern the assignment? Will you fight people, or will you rise above the drama and wait for divine vindication? This is a proving ground. Every attack, every insult, every betrayal is a test, not of your worth, but of your awareness. Michael's sword comes only to those who are ready to transition. And transition always brings tension. Before you cross over, you must first face what is trying to hold you back. Let it be known, no attack is wasted. No wound is unnoticed. Heaven counts the tears, measures the pain, and records the restraint. Silence in the face of battle is not weakness. It is power cloaked in wisdom. And when you choose peace over retaliation, you partner with the armies of heaven. The battle is not against them. It is against it. The spirit of delay, the spirit of confusion, the spirit of fear. But remember, Michael was not sent to comfort you in your old season. He was sent to lead you into the next one. And his sword is drawn. He is cutting the cords that tether you to cycles you were never meant to repeat. So rise, warrior. You are not under attack. You are under refinement. You are not being destroyed. You are being defined. And soon, very soon, those who thought they defeated you will see that heaven had you hidden, not forsaken. Type "I will stand" in the comments if this message confirms what you've been fighting. Blessing code 3030 is now active over your battle. Pay attention now. The atmosphere is thickening, and the unseen realm is alert. As the gateway of September 15 draws closer, the spiritual temperature rises. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but there is a plot forming in the shadows. A convergence of decisions, movements, and unseen whispers is taking place even now. The enemy is crafting diversions. Conversations are being held behind closed doors. People you thought were for you are being tested in silence. Hidden hearts are revealing their true colors under the pressure of spiritual exposure. You are not being paranoid. You are being warned. There is an invisible timeline in motion. Heaven has marked it, and hell has noticed it. And you, child of destiny, are standing in the center of it. The angelic realm knows the weight of what's about to occur, and Michael has already been stationed near your name. He is not coming, he is already here. You must understand the urgency of this hour. Within 72 hours of the September 15 threshold, something will shift. For some, it will be a moment of revelation. For others, it will be a confrontation. For some, a door will open. For others, a door will violently shut. There is a warning in the spirit. Prepare, but do not panic. Heaven never reveals without purpose. And this warning is not to provoke fear, but to sharpen focus. The coming days may carry confusion. A betrayal may appear without warning. A sudden conflict may emerge from a place you never expected. Do not be alarmed. The shaking is not meant to destroy you. It is exposing who and what can no longer go forward with you. Michael's sword, once again, is not merely decorative. It is surgical. He has come to cut. Not just in the heavens, but here, on earth, around your life. People, agreements, soul ties, assignments. All of it is being weighed in the scales of divine justice. That which was tolerated in your old season is being judged in this one. And anything not in alignment with your next level will begin to fall away. Sometimes gently, sometimes violently, but all under the authority of the Holy. There is a line being drawn. You may begin to feel pressure build. Relationships you thought were solid may suddenly feel tense. Opportunities you were sure of may go silent. Things that once worked may stop working altogether. This is not the enemy winning. This is heaven weeding. The fire you feel is not meant to consume you. It is purging you. What you feel is not the end. It is a recalibration for the beginning that's coming. And yes, there will be watchers, people trying to interpret your next move. There will be mockers, those who misread your silence. There will be the curious, those who never supported you, but now circle you with questions. Do not be shaken. This next move must come from obedience, not opinion. You cannot afford to ask others for permission to follow God. You cannot let emotional attachments delay spiritual assignments. Michael stands as a shield and a sword. He guards the threshold. He clears the path. But you must be ready. Do not lash out. Do not defend yourself unnecessarily. Do not retaliate when provoked. The battle is already shifting in your favor, but your reaction will determine how quickly you cross into the next realm of favor. This is not just a warning, this is a countdown. Every hour that passes is bringing you closer to a divine clash. But do not fear the clash, for when heaven permits pressure, it also releases power. So what must you do? Stand still. Be alert. Watch closely. Guard your spirit. Move only when instructed. And remember, it's not falling apart. It's falling into place. The sword has been drawn. The time has been set. And the heavens are watching. Type "I am alert" in the comments if you receive this prophetic countdown. Blessing code 4444 is now activated over your next 72 hours. There is a sacred instruction echoing in the spirit realm right now. Be still. Not because you are weak. Not because you are unprepared. But because heaven is moving in realms your eyes cannot see and doing war on your behalf. This is not the time to react from emotion, but to respond in authority. Archangel Michael has not drawn his sword for show. He has drawn it for battle. And the battle is not yours. It is the Lord's. Stillness, in this hour, is not silence born of fear. It is silence born of dominion. The kind of stillness that confuses the enemy. The kind of stillness that whispers louder than arguments and cuts deeper than retaliation. Your restraint is not weakness. It is a weapon. Every time you hold your peace when provoked, every time you choose prayer over panic, every time you stay quiet when everything in your flesh wants to scream, you release angelic power into motion. You must understand, this fight cannot be won with words. This fight will not be resolved in the court of opinions. This fight is spiritual, and spiritual battles require spiritual posture. Michael does not swing his sword at random. He responds to alignment. He responds to those who are still enough to hear heaven's cues. And right now, the Spirit is saying, resist the urge to explain yourself. Resist the urge to retaliate. Stay low. Stay quiet. Stay postured. If you knew what was taking place behind the veil, you wouldn't waste your breath on arguments. While you've been sitting in silence, the heavens have been moving with speed. While your enemies have been plotting in darkness, your angels have been clearing paths in light. While they whispered about your name in corners, your name has been written in divine scrolls of remembrance. You are not alone in this. You are surrounded. Now is the time for fasting, not fighting. Prayer, not panic. Clarity will come to those who sanctify the atmosphere. The more silent you become in the natural, the more clearly you will hear in the supernatural. Heaven is not calling you to explain. Heaven is calling you to discern. Discern who is really for you. Discern the doors you're not meant to walk through. Discern the spiritual attacks that are dressed in friendly faces. And discern when to speak and when to stay hidden. Your calmness is your weapon. Your silence is your shield. The enemy thrives on your reaction. When you do not give it, he is disarmed. That is why, in this hour, peace is not optional, it is strategic. You must wear it like armor. You must guard it like treasure. You must refuse to give it away cheaply to conflict, to confusion, or to petty provocation. Michael guards the threshold you're about to walk through. But he does not escort the flesh, only the spirit. He clears the way for those who carry purity, who carry humility, who carry obedience. So make this your posture. Be still, be clean, be ready. You've been feeling the pull, haven't you? The agitation to act, to prove yourself, to explain your decisions, to fight battles that aren't yours. But that pull is a test to see if you trust the divine strategy over the human reaction. Heaven is not calling you to argue. Heaven is calling you to ascend. And those who ascend must let go of everything that weighs them down. Do not fight back with fire. Rise above the flames. Do not descend into drama. Rise into discernment. Do not try to be understood. Be obedient. Let Michael handle the noise. Let God handle the justice. Let your stillness speak louder than your voice ever could. The sword is drawn. The angels are in position. Your only task now is peace. Type "I choose stillness" in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 5151 now surrounds your next move with divine protection. Look again, not at what they said, but at who you have become. They called you weak. They called you emotional. They called you inconsistent, but they never saw what God was building in the silence. They never saw the wings forming in the fire. They never saw the oil being pressed from your pain. They never saw the sword being placed in your hand by unseen angels. You have outgrown their labels, and heaven is making the distinction permanent. You are not who they think you are anymore. You are not who you used to be either. This is the quiet unveiling of your divine identity. The struggle you've endured, the isolation you've walked through, the confusion you survived, all of it was birthing a deeper strength. And that strength is now rising. Heaven did not allow the warfare to break you. It allowed the warfare to birth you. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. Can you feel it? That holy shift within your spirit, like something ancient has awakened inside of you. You walk differently now. You pray with more weight. You speak with more authority. You discern with greater precision. You no longer seek validation from people who cannot carry your calling. You no longer water down your fire to make others comfortable. You no longer shrink to fit inside cages you were never meant to survive in. You have stepped into your divine becoming. This is the hour where Michael's presence not only defends you, it crowns you. For those who have endured the furnace, a coronation awaits. Heaven is not just watching you rise. Heaven is announcing your rise. Every tear that fell in secret became oil. Every prayer that went unanswered became incense. Every betrayal became a stepping stone into authority. And now, as September 15 draws near, you are stepping out of ashes with a mantle on your shoulders. This is not the time to doubt yourself. This is not the time to second guess what you've been through. This is the time to accept that you are chosen, appointed, commissioned. This is the time to believe what God already said about you, even if others still treat you like the version you used to be. Don't argue with their memory of you. Just keep walking into your future. They won't understand. They'll say, "You've changed." And they'll be right. You have changed. You've been purified in a fire they never saw. You've been strengthened in silence. You've been tested in private, and heaven is preparing to reveal you in public. There is no need to prove your growth. Your fruit will testify for you. Your authority will speak for you. And Michael's presence around your life will confirm what your words never could. See it now in the spirit, wings rising from your back, fire wrapped around your feet, light pouring from your hands. You are not just being restored. You are being commissioned. You are stepping into the realm of those who carry kingdom weight. You are no longer surviving storms. You are commanding atmospheres. You are no longer waiting for peace. You are walking in the authority of peace. This shift is irreversible. The elevation is inevitable. What God has done, and you cannot be undone by man. And what He is calling you into, no human can block. This is your divine emergence. What was hidden is about to be revealed. What was broken is now being used as a weapon. What was buried is now resurrecting in power. So rise, not as a victim, but as a vessel. Walk, not as one seeking validation, but as one sent on assignment. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. Type "I have risen" in the comments if you can feel the shift in your identity. Blessing code 9090 has now wrapped around your crown. Let the veil be lifted now. Let the mystery be revealed. All that you have endured, every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every moment of silence from heaven, was not a delay. It was a preparation for prophetic initiation. September 15 is not simply a date. It is the hour of unveiling. It is not the end of a hard season. It is the beginning of divine inheritance. The trials were not punishments. They were rites of passage. You are not exiting the storm empty-handed. You are emerging with a scroll in your spirit and a new name etched in the book of destiny. Heaven is speaking, and it is speaking your name. It has been whispered in sacred chambers. Angelic ears have heard it. The hosts of the Lord have received their orders concerning you. What you once doubted, what you once feared, what you once questioned, is now being clarified in the courts of heaven. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. Your obedience has echoed louder than your pain. And now, that obedience is demanding a divine response. This is your prophetic pivot. You stand at a crossroads where faith must speak louder than fear, and obedience must override resistance. Do you feel the weight of it? This isn't just another season. This is a heavenly initiation. This is the moment the scroll of your next assignment begins to unroll. But you must choose. Because in the spirit realm, the door only opens to obedience. And heaven is not asking for your convenience. It is requiring your commitment. The Spirit is saying, choose this day. Choose the narrow path. Choose the fire of refinement over the comfort of the familiar. You cannot carry old wine into a new place. You cannot carry old mindsets into a season of revelation. You cannot carry double-mindedness into a moment of divine clarity. Heaven is drawing a line in the sand, and only the surrendered will pass through. Archangel Michael is not just arriving to protect, he is arriving to announce. He is declaring who is chosen, who is ready, who is aligned. And his presence is confirmation that a shift is sealed. This moment isn't about how you feel. It's about what you know deep in your spirit. You've felt the weight of it long before the calendar marked it. You've sensed the summons in your bones. You've walked heavy lately, not from fatigue, but from the glory that's preparing to rest upon you. There is a prophetic reward that is about to locate you. It is not just material. It is spiritual clarity. It is supernatural acceleration. It is the opening of your eyes to see what others miss. It is the discernment to detect what others dismiss. The reward of the chosen is not ease. It is elevation with purpose. And September 15 will divide the passive from the prophetic, the complacent from the call. You stand now in the in-between. But heaven is leaning in, waiting for your yes. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing. For those who say yes, the inheritance will be released. The scroll will be open. And what was locked will unlock with the sound of your surrender. Your trial was not punishment. It was prophecy. And that prophecy is now becoming fulfillment. Type "I receive this revelation" in the comments if this word speaks to your soul. Blessing code 7878 is now written over your scroll. This word is not just for you. It's for a generation that has forgotten how to hear. When you support this channel, you're not just giving, you're activating deliverance for someone else. As you've received this revelation, consider being a divine vessel to carry it further. The word declares in Proverbs 11:25, "The generous soul shall be made rich," and that richness is not just financial, it's prophetic overflow. When I heard this message from the Spirit, I knew others needed to hear it too. You can sow into that flow right now, through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or directly via PayPal. The link is in the video description below. This is not fundraising. This is faith raising. Your seed becomes strategy in the hands of heaven. Move prophetically. Sow boldly. Watch the heavens open. Heaven waits for your yes. This is the moment of activation. Not with fanfare. Not with lightning. But with the soft, yet weighty force of your voice coming into agreement with heaven. Destiny is not found in emotion. It is forged in decision. And right now, in the silence of your spirit, the courts of heaven are waiting. Not for perfection. Not for eloquence. But for a simple, surrendered yes. This is the divine threshold where passive hope becomes prophetic action. The gate is open. The light is piercing through. But no one can walk through it for you. Heaven waits for your yes. What you speak in this hour will shift what surrounds you. This is why the enemy has tried to suffocate your voice. Why he sent distractions. Why he stirred fear. He knows that a single word of obedience from your mouth can collapse cycles that have lasted for generations. He knows your declaration carries creative power. He knows your yes will authorize angelic movement, set divine appointments in motion, and align you with heavenly timing. So now, more than ever, your words must come into covenant with your purpose. Decree it not for others to hear, but for the atmosphere to obey. I will walk in purpose. I will not miss my moment. I am chosen, aligned, and ready. Speak it out. Declare it daily. Let your room become your courtroom, your prayer closet your war room. When you release your voice in faith, heaven backs it with fire. Silence without faith leads to delay. But faith-filled declarations crack open timelines and pour out favor. There is no more room for delay. No more space for indecision. This is not a time to second guess. This is not a moment to negotiate with fear. This is the proving ground of the awakened. September 15 is not a suggestion. It is an appointment. And Michael, the Archangel of movement and enforcement, stands as witness. Your alignment determines your acceleration. What you do in this hour will ripple across seasons to come. So what must you do? Rise in faith and move. Speak what heaven is saying. Pray like destiny depends on it, because it does. Obey the nudge, the instruction, the still small voice that's been growing louder each day. Do not wait for comfort. Do not wait for confirmation from those who lack spiritual insight. The voice of the Spirit is louder than their silence. The confirmation is your conviction. You already know. You already feel it. This word is not your first sign. It is your final push. Write the vision. Speak the promise. Step into the unknown. Make the call. Leave what must be left. Release what no longer fits. The future is not coming. It is calling. And it is calling you by name. Heaven is not casual about your calling, and you cannot be casual either. Michael stands at the threshold, not to drag you through, but to defend the ones who dare to walk boldly. This is your moment of proving, not to people, but to purpose. Your obedience is your proof. Destiny does not wait for comfort. Destiny demands courage. And you, chosen one, have been given the strength to answer that call. So rise, not as one waiting to see what happens, but as one who knows you are what is happening. You are not here to wonder. You are here to activate. Now declare it. Move in it. Align with it. What you decree in faith will be sealed by heaven. Type ISAYYS in the comments if your spirit agrees with this divine activation. Blessing code 8080 is now aligning your words with your next assignment. While you slept, heaven moved. While you wept, heaven recorded. What you could not see, God was already orchestrating. What you could not explain, heaven was already accounting for. Even in your stillness, even in your silence, a divine exchange was taking place behind the veil. While you questioned your worth, angels were negotiating your inheritance. While you battled with invisible weights, the throne room was releasing visible favor. Do not let the silence of this season deceive you. What felt like delay was actually divine movement. What felt like emptiness was divine exchange. There are moments when the spirit realm is louder than the natural, yet it speaks in ways that human ears cannot hear. The last few weeks, your dreams have been strange. Your emotions unpredictable. Your rest disturbed. That was not coincidence. That was your spirit picking up on what your mind has not yet processed. That was your inner man bearing witness to transactions occurring in dimensions you are only now beginning to access. This is the evidence of the spiritual exchange. When the soul cannot explain the pressure, but the spirit knows a transfer is occurring. Listen now, and listen carefully. Something has already shifted. While others were sleeping through their calling, you were wrestling in the dark. While others were celebrating comfort, you were sitting in quiet discomfort, sensing that something sacred was coming toward you. And now the veil is thinning. The residue of this divine exchange is beginning to manifest. Not through explosive events, but through sudden awareness. New peace. New clarity. New vision. These are not emotions. These are confirmations. Michael was not sent merely to announce your breakthrough. He was assigned to guard what was being transferred into your possession. Not just money, not just opportunity, but the restoration of what was stolen. Time, joy, peace, identity. For many, this exchange is redemptive. What you lost in years, God is restoring in moments. And for others, it is generational. What your bloodline suffered in silence, you will break through in declaration. But in all cases, it comes with the weight of responsibility. Do not mishandle what heaven has now placed in your hands. The enemy wants you to question if anything has changed, because he knows it already has. He wants you to look at the natural and miss what's occurring in the spirit. But remember this, spiritual things are spiritually discerned. Do not judge this next move by physical evidence. Judge it by spiritual alignment. Your restlessness wasn't dysfunction, it was recognition. Your tears weren't weakness, they were agreement. You wept over things others laughed at because your spirit was receiving what their hearts had not yet hungered for. This silent exchange was not emotional. It was legal. In the courts of heaven, decrees were made. Scrolls were released. Your name was mentioned. Angels were dispatched. Assignments were given. And you, child of God, have been approved to carry what others forfeited. Not because you were louder. Not because you were more qualified. But because you remained surrendered when others chose control. Heaven moved when you stayed still. Heaven fought when you stayed silent. And now, heaven will reward where you once wept. Do not underestimate what has just been placed into your spirit. You are now carrying answers for others. You are now carrying fire where there was once only ash. You are now stewarding something sacred. And the proof is not in what you feel. It's in what you will begin to see. From this moment forward, everything you touch will carry the residue of what has just been exchanged. Your words will carry unusual weight. Your silence will carry unexpected authority. Your decisions will carry supernatural clarity. You are not the same. You are now walking in what was quietly sealed in the Spirit. So walk carefully. Walk boldly. Walk with reverence. The transfer has taken place. Type "I receive the exchange" in the comments if this word resonates in your spirit. Blessing Code 3232 is now releasing confirmation into your atmosphere. There be known in both the natural and the unseen realm. Divine justice has been set into motion. The scales of heaven are not sleeping. The scrolls have been unsealed. The weight of every word spoken against you, every act done in darkness, every scheme plotted in silence, all of it has been measured. And the Lord, the righteous judge, has decreed enough. This is the hour where what was hidden will be revealed, and what was stolen will be returned. But not as it was taken. No, it will come back multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just restoration. This is reversal. You have endured long seasons of silence. You have stood while the arrows flew. You have chosen honor while rumors slithered like serpents around your name. You have kept your mouth closed while others opened theirs against you. And heaven took notice. What they mocked, God memorized. What they dismissed, God documented. They thought you were being overlooked, but you were being documented. And now, the season has shifted. The trial is over. The verdict has been reached, and the ruling is in your favor. Understand this. Archangel Michael is not just the guardian of gateways. He is the enforcer of judgment. He does not carry a dull sword. He does not strike randomly. He moves on divine command. And when justice is declared, he is the one sent to execute what the courts of heaven have decreed. There are some who have mocked you and felt untouchable. Some who have lied and felt protected. But what was done in secret is about to be judged in public. Not because of vengeance, but because of divine order. God is not petty, but he is just. You will begin to see reversals that don't make sense. Delays will suddenly break. Conversations that tried to destroy you will be overturned. Contracts that were denied will reappear. Opportunities that were blocked will resurface with fresh favor. And even more stunning, you will see people who laughed at your obedience now seek your wisdom. This is how heaven reverses the narrative. It humbles the proud and elevates the obedient. It silences the liars and vindicates the silent. And you must not allow bitterness to take root. The reversal is not a license for pride. It is a reminder that obedience always wins. That silence before the Lord always speaks louder than the slander of men. That those who wait on the Lord do not wait in vain. Yes, they tried to sabotage you. Yes, they thought they won. Yes, they celebrated when you fell. But God watched it all. And now, he is moving. This is your testimony. What was intended for your downfall is becoming your elevation. What they plotted in darkness is turning into your platform of light. Like Haman built the gallows for Mordecai, but hung on it himself. Those who tried to destroy you will become the backdrop of your testimony. Not because you prayed for their downfall, but because God will never allow injustice to go unanswered when it is aimed at the obedient. Every sacrifice you made, he saw it. Every betrayal you endured, he recorded it. Every tear you cried, he collected it. And now, it becomes a weapon of reversal. The ones who thought they buried you are about to see you bloom. Not in vengeance, but in vindication. For this is the season where the last shall be first, and the forgotten shall be revealed. Not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit of the living God. You have no need to defend yourself anymore. Heaven has already ruled in your favor. Walk in peace. Walk in power. Walk in reversal. The same gate they tried to shut will now open by command. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if this divine reversal is already unfolding in your life. Blessing code 6161 now goes before you to restore everything that was lost. This is the final charge. The end of the message, but the beginning of your movement. You've heard the signs. You've felt the stir. You've walked through the shaking. You've stood in the silence. And now, you are standing at the threshold, not of a season, but of destiny. September 15 is not just a prophetic date, it is a divine decision point. The voice of Archangel Michael has gone forth, like thunder in the spirit realm, and it is not just sounding in the heavens, it is calling you. This is not a moment to wonder. This is not a time to delay. You have been prepared. You have been chosen. You have been preserved for such a time as this. The stillness you carried was strength. The obedience you offered was warfare. The tears you wept were sacred ink, and heaven wrote your name in the registry of the awakened. The doorway is open now. The invitation is before you. Choose. Choose surrender over resistance. Choose obedience over comfort. Choose your future over your familiarity. Heaven's announcement is clear. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. You are no longer hidden. You are no longer overlooked. You are no longer carrying the weight of old seasons. You've been marked by the sword of Michael. You've been assigned angelic backing. You've been released from false alignments. The shift has occurred. The sound has gone out. And the call is now sealed in your spirit. So rise. Rise with confidence. Rise in truth. Rise with holy clarity. September 15 is not the end. It is your entry point. It is the sound of awakening. It is the choice of the chosen. Do not waste what you've received. Do not hesitate now. This moment has been anointed for you, and the gates are open. Your name has passed through fire. Your assignment has passed through war. And now your identity walks through glory. Type "I am awakened" in the comments if this message confirmed what heaven already whispered to you. Blessing code 9,999 is now completing the cycle and unlocking divine closure. As you rise from this message, know that your yes doesn't just change your life, it ripples into the lives of thousands. This word was not entertainment. It was a spiritual awakening. And now, as you step through your own threshold, help someone else find theirs. When you sow into this prophetic well, through super thanks, membership, or a gift through PayPal, you're not donating. You're deploying destiny into places your feet may never go, but your seed surely will. God said, "Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed." Proverbs 11:25. Your act of support becomes a key in someone else's breakthrough. Don't let the anointing stop here. Fuel the flame. Multiply the mantle. The link to give is in the video description. Or you can partner through a super thanks or membership right here on YouTube. Move boldly, sow prophetically, and watch heaven respond.